The Last of the 20 by Joseph N. Wdowski. Second thoughts. Miller, a bit disturbed, asked, "Why haven't you taught the others and the children to read? They don't even know what state they are living in." Todd slightly nudged the woman on his lap to get off him, focusing on Miller. "Why? I know enough. What does it matter that this place was called Connecticut before?" Lisa supported Todd. "Todd knows what we need to do. Why would we want to waste our time on learning useless things like reading?" Miller shook his arm free of Lisa. "Because learning betters the individual." "The individual?" Todd replied. "Wow, bro, you've been on the roads like I have before. The individual is dead." He wrapped both his arms around the two attractive women next to him. "It's about the family, man. The group. Bro, if you're not a part of something, you're part of nothing." 124 responded. "Humans are social animals, but the improved individual parts improve the whole." "Man, what a bummer. This is all too deep." Todd forcefully looked at Miller. "If you don't want trade or party, I'll say adios." Todd grabbed the other girl and pulled her to him, having her sit on his lap. They both started making out. Seeing how pointless his interaction with Todd was, Miller turned and headed out of the tent. Along with the robots, Lisa followed him. He was glad to get outside and back into the fresh air. Todd means well. Lisa tried to explain to Miller. "He takes care of us. He shows us what to do, plowing, planting, and harvesting, and the weed he has us grow is out of this world." Annoyed Miller responded, "Why do you inhale that stuff?" "It relaxes you. It takes the edge off. You should try it." She took a small joint out from under her hemp top and offered it to Miller. "No thanks. If you need something to artificially relax you, or take the edge off, then something is wrong with you." Miller turned to 124. "We're leaving." "Good idea." Agreed 124. "No, Miller. Stay with us. We have room for you." Her eyes became so soft and big as she looked up at him. He was almost tempted to stay with her. "I like you." "I do. Stay with me." She tried to retake his hand, but he refused to allow her to do so. "I don't belong here." He looked around the farm, assessing its strategic position. "This place is a death trap. There is no way to defend it. I really do not understand how you lasted here so long." The parents. Lisa answered. "Just like Todd told you. They leave us alone because we give them food. And even though they don't accept us within their nests, they still see us as kin. I have seen them use their own children as bait. I find your explanation extremely hard to believe. There is something you're not telling me." Miller turned back to 124. "Let's go. We still have a few hours of daylight left." "Don't go." Lisa hoped to convince him to stay. "I really do like you. You're different." Her words caused Miller to stop. Closing his eyes, he took a deep breath. He thought carefully before responding to her. Turning to look at her, he walked back to her. He took hold of her hand. "If what you are saying is true, come with me." She was shocked by his proposal. "Come with you?" "Yes, come with me." Miller looked around them at the laid-back, yet functioning community. All of this cannot last long. We have been safe here for years." She protested. "It won't last." He insisted. "Come with me, Lisa. Come with me before it's too late for this. This experiment implodes. Where you are heading is not much safer." 124 pointed out. "You really think she would be safer with you, going into New Haven, that most likely has hundreds or even thousands of parents?" Miller turned to the robot, insisting, "I can protect her. We can protect her." Lisa released her hand from Miller. "I like you, but I can't leave a family. I can't abandon Todd." Miller stood up straight and put his helmet on, strapping his gas mask back over his face. "I thought so. Good luck, Lisa. You and the family will need it. The parents are not rational creatures. One day, they will turn on all of you. Maybe not today or tomorrow, but they will someday. The virus eats away at their minds over time. Miller turned his back on her, walking south on the drive to Derby Avenue. Both robots followed closely behind him. Heading east on Derby Avenue, Miller continued his progress to Yale University. Not talking, they all walked in silence. A half hour later they reached the overpass of Route 15. It was then that Harry and his cronies landed on the robotic mule. You don't like girls, do you? Harry broke the silence. Miller stopped, turning to face Harry, who was perched on the mule with his followers. Wasn't it you that warned me about the dangers of getting my heart stolen? Yeah. But I am not a man. You are a male. 124 pointed out. Yeah, but I like female crows, not human females. Harry defended as his group vigorously bobbed their heads up and down in agreement, thinking of the females of their species. Miller noticed their surroundings. Overpass again. Still just a coincidence. Yup, just a coincidence. His group again bobbed in agreement. I don't believe in coincidences, especially when they come in threes. Miller turned his back on Harry and began walking east again. Nor I. 124 agreed, following Miller. Riding the mule's back, Harry and his group followed too. I thought you would take the girl with you. Not stopping his stride, he replied, looking forward. She had no intention of coming with me. Besides, 124 was right. Coming with me might be even more dangerous for her. 3 hours later, as they traveled on Derby Avenue, the road cut through a dense wooded area. It was very scenic, with lush New England trees on the south of them, and to their north were the dark blue waters of the Maltby Lakes of West Haven. Miller stopped, unstrapped his gas mask to let it hang to the side, so he could enjoy the clean, crisp air. He used his helmet sensors and GPS mapping system to investigate the area and how much further they had to walk. The two robots, also stopping 124, asked, "What's the problem?" "I am not picking up any active threats." "The time is the problem," he answered, starting to walk again. "Time. We might have 3 hours of daylight left. If we keep going at this pace, we will be reaching the heart of New Haven at nightfall." Miller pointed out, "How many nests are you picking up there? Are we close enough for you to get a reading of them in their dormant state? As you said, New Haven is not far. We could be easily on the Yale University campus in 3 hours." 124 gave his assessment. "You are also correct. It will put us in the city at nightfall. As for nests, as I told you before, I am capable of picking up their dormant nests in a 3-mile circumference. That gives me readings for the western part of the city." And Miller was losing his patience. 30 nests, with an average of 20 per nest. 124 reported, "Of course, that is not the heart of the city, which is still out of my range. At least 600, most likely a lot more. We need to find a location near here, outside the city, to hold up for the night. Rather enter in the morning. That would be advisable." 124 concurred. "I am picking up a large structure off Derby Avenue, behind those trees ahead. It has a second story. The one to the southeast of us." 124 confirmed. "It is sound structurally, and I am not picking up any nests in the building, but I was going to continue." 124 was sharp at Miller, interrupting. "You do have 3 nests in a suburban area just south of that building. A total of 32, if you don't count their young ones." Miller began moving again. "I can easily handle 32, if need be. Establishing a defensive position on the second floor 3 hours before sunset, there is a very good chance they won't even know we are there." "Makes sense." 124 agreed. "I won't tell them," squawked Harry before he and his followers took flight.